everybody, and welcome to Andrew Discusses, where today I have a special topic. Yes, I know it's a rarity, but I actually have a topic that I want to discuss, a topic that I'm looking forward to. Today I'm talking about the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Basically, I'm talking about what it means to me. I want to discuss my impact of the movie and what it actually meant for me in a way. See, what a lot of people don't know about me, and here's a neat little trivia fact for you. I was picked on tremendously in school, especially elementary school. I was hated by most of my class, shunned by a lot of the teachers, faculty members, what have you. They hated me with a passion. My own class hated me, mostly for the fact because I was a tall kid. I was, freakishly big. Parents were terrified I was liable to hurt their children. And their hatred rubbed off on their kids and, in essence, was shoved upon me. So when I saw The Hunchback of Notre Dame, this movie spoke volumes to me, more so than any movie has ever done before. And granted, I've had a few movies that have done so since then, but not to the extent that Hunchback has. This movie has a special place in my heart. Seriously, it honestly does. The plot of the movie basically consists of the story of Quasimodo and how he became who he is, and his little, I guess you want to call it, road to redemption and finally getting what he wants. Just the one chance to be able to go out into the world and not be judged by what he is, but be accepted and welcomed by everyone. And when I was in elementary school, honestly, that's all I really ever wanted, was just be accepted and welcomed by the rest of my class. Not looked upon like I'm liable to break their bones if I so much as give them a high five. Or, oh, we're playing out at recess. Oh no, here comes Andrew, the giant kid. Let's not have him let's not have him join in. I basically just wanted to be accepted and become one with the rest of the kids. Do the same things that they were doing, have fun, make friends. And for Quasimodo, all he wants is just spend one day out in the world. At least one. Just so that he can experience their life and see what life is like outside the bell tower. For me, I basically have my own bell tower in a way. We all kind of do, but this is why the movie spoke volumes to me, because I have this basically tower around myself that is the cause of a lot of my problems. For me especially, I'm a tall person. I'm built like a brick house. People look at me, the first thing they think of is, oh, he's an angry person, or he's full of rage, he's rough, he's, super strong, he's evil, he's mad all the time, he's grumpy, he's wicked, he's mean. And the kicker is, I'm actually a nice person if you get to know me. Sure, I'm a bit cynical, I kind of look on the glass as half empty almost all the time, but I've been having so much stuff happen in my life that has technically brought that on. Growing up, I never had many friends. Hell, I didn't get my first best friend till I was literally in middle school. And like 8th grade in middle school. Do you know how long that is to go without having somebody to at least talk to every day? Without having somebody to just say, hey, how you doing? And actually ask if you're okay? That's not related to you? Yeah. That's a big problem. This is why The Hunchback speaks volumes to me. You have the songs in this movie, but mostly the one that really resonates with me is Out There. The one where Judge Claude Frollo, voiced by Tony J, does his explaining to Quasimodo about why you must remain in the bell tower, why you can never leave. Which basically, that explains a lot about my own life. Why I keep myself secluded, why I'm an introvert, not an extrovert type of personality. Because for me, I was hated by most of my class. I was shunned by my fellow classmates, kids my own age. I was shunned by them. I remember my grandfather constantly saying that it was because I wouldn't shut up, and I wouldn't, like, I'd open my mouth and I would just keep talking, and I never learned to keep my mouth shut. And that theory of his immediately got thrown out of the water when, literally at a local fair, we're having a couple of my classmates are sitting over the thing. I go over to say hi, and at the top of their lungs tell me to go fuck myself. I mean, full view of adults, my family and everything. They just tell me to go fuck off. It's like, yeah. And my mom just looked right at my grandfather and said, "Well, congratulations." It's just the look she gave him was just like, "Hey, congratulations, you just managed to make Andy a laughing stock in front of a few thousand people. Way to go, Dad." And he just stopped at that point. It was no longer, okay, this isn't him doing it to himself. This is literally his class hates him. Okay. All I literally went over and said was hi. Literally hi. Everybody could hear me say it. And I was told to go fuck off. And yeah, it still bothers me yet to this day. And I know that a lot of my classmates have grown. But the problem with me is that, especially with this entire thing, it is just something that has haunted me. That I was picked on so badly, I just have a hard time trusting people anymore because of it. I can either be overly trusting if they're really nice to me half a dozen times, then I'm overly trusting, and that can sometimes bite me in the backside. But a majority of the time, I don't trust people. I keep them at an arm's length or more because I don't trust them. I just have this issue with it, and it's just a subconscious reaction. If I seem like, oh, well, he's a bit of a snobby person, or, oh, well, he's a bit stuck up or something, or, oh, well, he's a bit arrogant, it's honestly a self-defense mechanism that I've pretty much doing subconsciously and out of habit, because I have been picked on and hated by so many people that I just can't take it anymore, and subconsciously I just created a defense for it. So, like I said, when I saw this movie, it spoke volumes to me, and it still does. But that song especially, because you have the two parts of it. You have Judge Claude Frollo's part, and then literally you have Quasimodo's part where he's explaining about how he's basically trapped behind, this bell tower, the windows and parapets of stone that form the bell tower. That's basically his entire life. And for me, that's how I felt. It's, you have this massive tower around you, this gigantic thing that you can't see what's around you or outside of you, but at the same time, something's there. He can see it, he just can't interact with it, and it's mostly because I'm afraid to. I won't deny it. And that's the main thing. So, this movie definitely, it shows a lot to me. Especially for the fact that a lot of the stuff that Quasimodo was hated for, besides the deformed face and the literal hunchback, the hunch, in a way, I was hated because I looked freakishly strong. I was tall. I looked older than I was. And parents, were just terrified of that when I was a kid. For them, it was like, oh my God, this is horrible. They let this person in. It's far too old to be anywhere near my kids. And I was like, I'm literally the same age as them. I may be on the younger end of the spectrum, but we're all in the same age bracket. No. And it bothered me so badly it wasn't funny. So, of course, you have this entire ordeal. Then there's the whole, I want to say, the one part that doesn't really bother me is the fact that, you have Quasimodo kind of falling for Esmeralda. But the thing is, when I was in school, and even nowadays, yeah, that kind of thing happens to me. If somebody's nice to me, I'll start letting my guard down too much. And that's the main problem. That, that's the built-in defense mechanism. I'm not used to it. And it just bothers me. But the movie, like I said, it spoke volumes to me for everything that it did. I mean, it shows that you can actually get a true friend like Quasimodo got with Phoebus. That's like me and my best friend from high school. We literally, I met him in 8th grade. He had got the courage up to say hi to me, and we became friends. I have a friend from when I was in tech school. I know some people on YouTube that are becoming friends. The thing is that for me, yeah, you get one good friend, that's going to be a bond that's going to, start to grow. And for me, it was my best friend from middle school and high school. It's the oldest friend that I have. I would occasionally talk to myself. I would talk to the stuff in my room, so I'd sort of have like my own set of gargoyles in a way. And while Quasimodo liked building his little miniatures of the town and the people, I always liked, putting myself behind Legos and building with Legos. It's scary how there's so many similarities. It just boggles me. I mean, now, of course, I didn't have like a corrupted parental figure. My mom actually did care a lot about me, and my grandparents, at least my grandfather and my grandma, at least after they realized that, okay, 90% of this is not his fault. I really wish they would have realized 100% of it was not my fault, but sure, why not? What the hell? But yeah, some other family members weren't too thrilled and still thought that I was doing it to myself and everything else. But still, it is what it is. You can't win them all. But that's the whole point. With Quasimodo, all he wanted was acceptance. To be able to walk amongst the people. To be like them. For me, when I was in elementary school, and even nowadays too, I just would enjoy to be able to walk around people without having them look at me like, okay, this person's massively tall. They might go postal on here. No, they're really freakishly tall. And in elementary school, it hurt the most because, when you'd like to have somebody to talk to, just to say hi and pal around with, you get nothing. You get picked on, you get bullied, and it's basically like, we're just gonna chuck shit at him. That part of the movie. That was me throughout most of elementary school and the first half of middle school. After that, it was like, here, now you finally get a friend, and things start to get a little better for you. And it did. It wasn't instantaneous or anything, but it did start to get a little better. But at the same time, I never let down my guard anymore, unless, subconsciously I do it, but most of the time I keep my guard up. If I seem like a cynical asshole, it's because of that. But that's why, I mean, this movie, say what you will about it, this movie is beautiful. The backgrounds are beautiful, the scenes are beautiful. The music in this is actually wonderfully done. You have the Notre Dame introduction song. You have Out There, which is one of my favorites. I'll even throw Hellfire into this, is actually pretty good, even though I still don't understand most of it. And yes, I have had it explained to me. I mostly don't understand how that made it into a Disney movie. But then again, this was the company back then that apparently had a naked woman in The Rescuers, so yeah, okay, whatever. I'll go with it. Still, though, yeah, I mean, the movie speaks volumes to me. It always will. Because for me, it's more than just, however long the runtime is, just to sit down and watch it. For me, I'm actually looking at my life, at least my life in elementary school, hated by my classmates, figure it being like everybody out there hates me, not really wanting to try to get to know them, or wanting to get to know them, only to basically have them just still hate me. That was my entire life in elementary school, and at least the first half of middle school to a point. And things only got better in the second half of middle school. It finally came to a head. So if you think about it, if you want to compare my life to the movie a little bit, the end of the movie where Quasimodo was finally accepted, for me, that would pretty much be my junior year of high school. But by that point, I didn't care anymore. Like my senior year of high school, that's when they finally decided to accept me, and at that point, I didn't care anymore. Because in my mind, I wasn't good enough for them before. What's the change now? And that's sadly how my mindset has been on it ever since. But yeah, I mean, I love the movie. It's one of my favorites. In fact, it's one of the few Disney movies I don't actually own on DVD to watch. But it's still a good movie. If you ever get a chance to watch it, I recommend it. Check it out. It's beautiful. God knows it's wonderful. If you don't get a chance to check it out, that's fine. But if you get a chance, I highly recommend checking it out. Seriously, it is a damn good movie. And until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been Andrew Discusses. Bye, everybody, and have a wonderful day.